Okay, good morning. Steve from the Camouflage store. We get asked quite a lot questions regarding different boots and all the rest of it. And one particular one that comes up is what's the difference between the Jungle Microlites and the Jungle Panama Classics? So I'm just going to quickly show you what the differences are. There's not a massive amount of differences, but basically this is a Jungle Microlite Classic, and it has the Microlite sole unit on it. Okay, this is the Jungle Panama Classic, which has a conventional, or say a conventional, it has a Panama sole unit really designed for slippery jungle, muddy terrain. So as you can see, hopefully you can see it on there, the type of sole unit is in the actual how it's designed. So you've got the extra, I don't know if I put it that way, look, probably that's a good way to do it. So you've got the jungle grip on the front, and it's like a self-clearing sort of method and design how they do it. So you've got the grip on the sides. Now, there is shock absorption in this sole unit. So this is really designed for when you're out in muddy conditions in the jungle, okay? I wouldn't be using it for anything else. This also has 3 drain holes compared to the Microlite that only has 2. And I think probably the only other noticeable difference between the two is that on the inside around the top, you have like a mesh sort of insulation bit, well, not really insulation, sort of padding, which runs down the tongue and runs around the top, compared to the Microlite, which has got a leather, and it's like leather with cambrel down the tongue. So that's probably the biggest difference. Now, I guess that's down to weight and also trying to get rid of water the best way possible. So, when we get people phone up and asking about, boots for this, that and the other, this is, I mean, we've had one this morning, a customer's phone up going to Belize and they want some Jungle Panama Classics. Definitely them. I wouldn't be using these for that. If you were going somewhere that was still quite hot and stuff, and it wasn't like muddy, then yeah, you could use that one fine. But I wouldn't be using this one. No, well, I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, obviously some people do, but that really has got the correct pattern, the correct sole unit for clearing mud. And for the best grip possible for the kind of terrain you're on. In that event, that's what you're looking for, isn't it, really? Is the best, what is the best you can do for where you're going? And really that boot is for that. That's no good for running out on the tarmac or on concrete, because the sole, although it has got shock absorption, it's just not really the right sole unit, is it? It's a little bit higher on the front than I don't think you can really see it there, but it is a tad higher. So there we go, the Jungle Panama Classics, the Jungle Microlite. Okay, now we have these specially ordered from Altberg. Okay, so it's not something they just make in MOD Brown, and they've got them on the shelf. We have these specially made for us, so it does take time, and obviously the way the world is and the way things are going at the moment, it's not easy to get everything in stock. So we are actually waiting for some more to come in. And by the way, before I forget, you can still treat this with leader grease, and I recommend you do that, because there's still, obviously, you've got the leather heel and the leather front and stuff, so it will help to feed and nourish the leather. Because if you think about it, you're going to wet and dry all the time. You still need to feed and nourish that leather. So I still recommend that you look after the boots and look after the leather the best way you can with leader grease, because it will dry out, that wet and dry. You need to try and do that as best you can. And I appreciate when you're in the field, you can't always do that. But when the first opportunity you can, then get to it. Right, hopefully that helps. Jungle Panama Classics, Jungle Microlites. Okie dokie, see you later. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.